I think a lot of people feel like the hardest part of change is not knowing what to do. But I don't think that's true. I feel like the hardest part of change is that you do know. About 10 years ago, I lost my job due to alcoholism. I was about 2 months into employment. Money was tight. But guess what I still found a way to spend money on? You guessed it. Alcohol. Now that is not what this video is about. This is just a quick story to prove a point. So every day I would be sitting at my desk applying for jobs. And I got so frustrated because I thought I was such a great candidate. I had a master's degree, I had great experience, my resume looked amazing on paper. Why was I not getting any bites? Why was no one taking the bait? So, one morning at about 10 a.m., sitting at my desk, and I don't talk to God often, or a higher power, like I didn't at that time. So this was very unusual for me. You could tell I was getting desperate. I basically looked up and was like, hold on, light's better this way, okay. I basically looked up and was like, why is nobody getting back to me? I don't understand. I'm an attractive candidate, da-da-da-da-da. And I kid you not, it was like there was a presence above me, and it motioned me to look on both sides of my laptop. So I did. On one side of my laptop, I had a very large Monster can of energy drink. On the other side of my laptop, I had a very large bottle of vodka. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I know. But come on. Just I'm aware, but let me get a job first and then we can deal with that. I get it. But let me get a job first. And I am not joking. It was truly an audible voice. It was no. Now is when you deal with that. So, in this video, that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about how I think we all have things that we know about, but we are just hoping that we don't have to deal with it yet. My name's Kirsten. Hello. Welcome to my channel. On my channel, I focus on building a life that lights you up when there is no evidence that you can achieve what you want to achieve. You have to become the proof. So, like I was saying, I feel like a lot of us tell ourselves, I don't know what to do. But I don't think that's true. I feel like a lot of people know exactly what needs their attention. They're just not ready. They don't want to acknowledge it because of what doing so may require of them. Because once you admit it, you can no longer pretend that you don't see it. The relationship, the job, the habit. The dream. The feeling. The thing you keep ignoring, avoiding. Because the moment you fully acknowledge it, responsibility enters the room. And that doesn't feel comfortable. It's usually not a fun feeling. So let's talk about not yet. Have you ever noticed that people don't really use the word never? They use the word later. I'll start later. I'll deal with that later. I'll change later. I'll improve later. I'll go after my dream later. I'll have that conversation later. Sometimes these delays are valid, but sometimes later becomes a hiding place. Something we do or use to postpone what we already know. But the truth is, like, if we're being honest, sometimes you're not waiting for the right time. You're waiting for the discomfort to go away. And the problem is, it probably won't. The signal just keeps getting louder. One big sign that something's trying to get your attention is when you start telling yourself things like, this is the last time I send that text, spend that money, do that thing. This is the last night. This is the last day. Tomorrow, I'm not doing it again. Never again. Oh, I said never. So you gotta listen to what you're saying. You're saying you acknowledge that it's not aligned with you. Something is not aligned with you. You acknowledge that you want something different. The awareness is there. The problem is not that you don't know. The problem is that you haven't acted on what you know yet. I got another one for you. Another big sign that something is trying to get your attention is when there's something that you don't want to talk about. You don't want people asking questions. You don't want to draw attention to it. You just want to keep it tucked away and deal with it privately. And this creates tension because part of you wants to move forward, while another part knows that moving forward may require change. And change can feel daunting. So you postpone it. We treat these feelings like a problem. Like it's something we need to suppress or distract ourselves from or escape from. But what if the feeling was information? What if the tension was information? What if the regret was information? What if the dissatisfaction is information? I'm not suggesting it's like instructions. I'm not suggesting it's possibly telling you to do some dramatic change overnight. But it's information. Something worth paying attention to. Something I've noticed over time is that the things that matter most tend to keep showing up. The dream, the idea, the habit, the relationship, the feeling, the truth. Not once, not twice, but over and over and over. So, what changed for me? That morning in my apartment, that wasn't about the alcohol. That was about honesty. That was the moment that I finally stopped arguing with what I already knew. So many of us do this. We negotiate with truths that have already arrived. We try to postpone them, make them go away. We try to convince ourselves that I'm gonna deal with that later. But the truth has a way of waiting very patiently. And it will eventually ask you the same question. Are you ready to listen? So if a feeling keeps returning, a thought, a dream, a regret, a truth, before you try to silence it next time, try to ask yourself why it's still here. Maybe it's not here to bother you. Maybe it's here to guide you. Maybe it's still here because part of you already knows. Guys, as always, I love hanging out with you. Hope you got something useful out of this. Had so much fun hanging out with you. Hope you love this beautiful frickin' place. That is my favorite place to go right now. I was gonna say something. Oh yeah. So it is like 7 p.m. right now. Wait. 8 p.m. It is 8 p.m. Okay. On a Saturday. And I just think it's so interesting because I used to come here, like all the other videos before this, I would intentionally come in the morning or in like the late morning. Like the latest I would be here is like 1 p.m. Oh my gosh, the sun is like so much better. Let's turn this way. So, I knew it would be like really hot in the middle of the day. That's not really relevant. But basically like last Sunday, I filmed a video. I got home. I filmed it in the middle of the day. I got home and I realized that the audio was super bad. So at 5 p.m. on Sunday night last weekend, I came back here and I re-recorded it. That was like a huge deal for me. Because I could have like moped around and been like, this audio is bad, I wasted a day. But I was like, no! Even though I worked early the next morning, I was like, I'm going back out there and I'm going to do it again. And because I came out here in the evening at 5 p.m., I was like, what? This is the time to be here. So yeah, now this weekend, I like intentionally came on the evening. So it's like my new jam. But anyways, alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll show you some nature shots before I go. Appreciate you. Bye. It's so beautiful here. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is that if I hadn't have messed up, I wouldn't have discovered that coming here in the evening is the bomb diggity jam. So it's like, let it be an example to you of when there is a setback or something that could totally discourage you, could break your spirit, could break your momentum. Don't let it. That's what this channel helps you build. This channel helps you build a barrier so your dreams can be unbreakable, unshakable. You going after your dreams. Nothing can stop you. And when there are setbacks, because there will be, stuff is not smooth sailing all the time, don't let that stop you. So I came out here last weekend, I filmed again, and I discovered that the evening is amazing. Like, I'm mind blown. I would have never organically done that, and I would have continued coming out here in the morning and midday, and it is summer, and it is hot, and there's more people, more traffic. I mean, look at this freaking sunset happening right now. What? So. I just love sharing my trials and errors with you and hope they inspire you. Okay, bye.